Blue and red lights were flashing across my lawn. Police hands hovered near their cuffs, and a tow truck chain was hooked to my pickup like they were about to drag away my life. And all of this, every humiliating second of it, because I hung a small American flag on my porch to honor my father. That was the moment I realized peace was gone, and the place I'd moved to for quiet mornings had turned into a battlefield. My name is Daniel Reed. Though most just call me Dan, I'm a carpenter, a man who likes things solid and straight stairs that don't creak, railings that don't wobble. When I first found the house at the end of Willowcrest Lane, it felt like home. The big oak in the yard reminded me of my dad, who used to tell me strength doesn't shout son, it stands. I wanted that life again. But I didn't know that moving here meant stepping straight into Karen Miller's kingdom. Karen was the president of the HOA, and the first day she came to my door in her sharp blue blazer name tag pinned like a badge, she didn't shake my hand. She handed me a binder so thick it could have been a phone book. "Read the rules," she said, looking at me like I was a stray dog. Inside, sure, there were some normal rules: keep the lawn mowed quiet after 10, but then came the sticky notes. Her sticky notes. Little add-ons she'd written herself. Garage doors open no longer than 5 minutes. Porch furniture only in neutral colors. Seasonal flags must be approved by the board. I laughed, thought she was joking. She wasn't. So when Memorial Day rolled around, I hung a flag on my porch, small but proud, just like my father taught me. That afternoon she marched up my path, heels clicking, eyes sharp. "You didn't ask permission," she snapped. I said softly, "It's the national flag. State law protects it." She sniffed and said, "Our rules are clear." The next day, I found a yellow slip in my mailbox, violation notice, $2,000, pay in 10 days or else. At first I tried to reason with her. I even wrote a polite letter quoting state law. I thought maybe if I'm calm she'll back down, but instead she doubled down. She posted my address on the community app with a photo of my flag. New resident disregards rules. Sets a bad example. Neighbors started whispering. Notes slid under my door. Pay your fine. Don't make trouble. And the worst one, we'll put a lien on your house. That wasn't even legal, but she was counting on fear. I still wanted peace. I held a cookout, invited the neighbors, handed out free burgers and lemonade. Some came, kids drew chalk hearts on the sidewalk. For a moment I thought kindness might work. Karen drove by in her black SUV windows, rolled up her face blank like a mask. She didn't stop. Then came the red paper. Final notice. The fine had somehow grown with late fees that didn't add up. When I walked into the clubhouse to confront her, she smirked. "Pay today or law enforcement gets involved." I shook my head. "You can't twist the law into your game." She leaned closer. "I can, and I will." The next morning, sirens, police cars, a tow truck idling at my gate, Karen pointing at me like I was public enemy number 1. "He thinks he's above the rules," she cried. Neighbors gathered, kids on bikes slowed to watch. My dog barked behind the screen door. I tried to stay calm. I held up the violation notice. "I'm not paying for something illegal." Officer Daniels, the taller one, looked at me carefully. "Sir, step down from the porch." My heart hammered. Karen gasped, dramatically clutching her wrist. "He threatened me," she wailed. The crowd murmured. The shorter cop reached for his cuffs. For a second I thought this was it. I was about to be hauled away over a flag. And in that moment, I almost broke. I thought maybe I should have just paid. Maybe I should have kept my head down, swallowed my pride, played by her twisted rules. I wasn't a fighter. I just wanted peace. My dad's voice echoed in my head. "When someone raises their voice lower, yours. Be the quiet kind of strong." But what if quiet strength wasn't enough here? What if I was wrong to resist? Before I could drown in that thought, the tow truck driver dropped his hook on my driveway with a metallic clang and started dragging my truck. Sparks flew across the concrete. And then Mia, little Mia, on her purple bike with streamers pedaling straight into the chaos. The truck lurched toward her. Time slowed. I didn't think. I jumped, grabbed her handlebars, yanked her and the bike out of the way just as the tow truck slammed into my oak tree. The sound shook the ground. Silence, then gasps. Neighbors clapped, cried out. "He saved her," someone shouted. Mia's mom held her tight, sobbing. For one shining moment, truth cut through Karen's lies. But Karen wasn't done. Her face pale, then flushed red, she screamed, "Don't be fooled. He staged this. He's dangerous." Cops looked uncertain. One neighbor muttered, "That's not a threat." Karen snapped back, "Do you want a violation too?" Fear rippled through the crowd. But then Whitaker, the old retired teacher, stepped forward with his cane. "This man shoveled my driveway, fixed my gate. He's a good neighbor. Don't put cuffs on him just because someone wants to feel bigger." His voice trembled, but it carried. For the first time, I saw the officers hesitate on my side. Karen, furious, pulled out a new paper. "Emergency board vote. His privileges are suspended. He's trespassing on common property. Officers, remove him." She jabbed her finger at my gate, her voice shrill. The tow driver cursed, refusing to work for her anymore. Neighbors whispered. The cracks in her control were showing. But she didn't stop there. Oh no. Days later, zoning inspectors showed up claiming anonymous reports of violations. She planted a giant red sign in my yard, "Community Violator." She mailed letters to every house branding me a danger. And when that didn't break me, she dragged me to court. I'll never forget standing in front of the judge holding that thick binder. I flipped to the sticky notes, Karen's notes. "Your Honor," I said steady as I could, "these aren't bylaws. They're handwritten additions. The actual bylaws allow the national flag. State law protects it. I didn't break the rules. I refuse to pay for something that isn't real." Karen lost it. She slammed her hand on the table, shouting, "I am the HOA president. What I say is law." The judge raised an eyebrow, unimpressed. Whispers filled the room. Board members squirmed in their seats. Todd, one of them, wouldn't even meet her eyes. And right there, the tide turned. The judge struck down every fine, called her conduct into question, and ordered a review of the HOA's practices. Karen's face drained of color. The power she clung to like armor cracked wide open in front of everyone. I walked out of that courthouse not celebrating, not cheering, just breathing. Because winning didn't feel like triumph, it felt like survival. Karen wasn't just a bad neighbor. She was proof of what happens when power goes unchecked, when fear rules instead of fairness. And if you've been listening this far, maybe you're wondering what the lesson is. It's simple. Never confuse control with respect. True strength doesn't shout, it stands.